Market's news station.
And thank you for joining us here for the Fox 61 News at 5 p.m. I'm Tim Lammers. Our top story tonight, we're hearing more from a grieving family that's still waiting for answers after two men were found dead in a burning car in Oxford. You may remember this story. The bodies of both 36-year-old David Rivera and 39-year-old Carlos Calderon were found in that car last summer. Police said they both had been killed, but still, to this day, no suspects that we know of are in custody. Now, Fox 61's Celine Harris spoke with Rivera's sister about how she wants her brother to be remembered.
It's been more than a year since David Rivera was found in a burning car just off of Route 34, not too far from Lake Zor behind me here. And while investigators are still working this case, his sister wants everyone to know there is so much more to his story than this tragedy. Gladys Rivera is holding on to pictures.
When he was younger.
And memories, because she can't hold her baby brother ever again. On May 30th, that chance was taken away from her family forever.
Family guy. He loved to joke. He loved to dance. He loved football. I believe he's been playing football since he was like 6.
Rivera says her brother David loved football almost as much as he loved his two daughters, Star and Nova.
And then when she became a teenager, he actually got her started on flag football. So she was doing that last summer.
Last summer, his daughters should have been making more memories with their dad instead of losing him like this. The medical examiner's office says he died of a gunshot wound to the head. His family has no idea why he was killed.
And he was a great mechanic. Anybody will call him if you needed help on the side of the road, a tire, brakes. He would go to your house and help you. It didn't matter what time, he would try to help you.
Now Rivera is trying to help him by keeping his memory alive every day. It's a job no big sister ever imagines taking on. She posts tributes to her brother on social media, keeps the celebrations going for his birthdays,
July 21st,
and makes sure that people don't forget her family hasn't found justice yet.
The detective, he'll inform me that it's still an ongoing case, but that's all he says. Everything else we just don't know.
While she doesn't know when her family will get answers to the questions that have haunted them for more than a year, she's certain her family won't lose hope, waiting for their day of justice.
Our family doesn't want his, his name to just be a homicide. Like, he was loved, he was cared, he loved his daughters. We all love him, we all missed him. And we all want answers.
The Western District Major Crime Squad took over this case last year. Investigators urge anyone with information, no matter how small it may seem, to contact them. Reporting in Monroe, Celine Harris, Fox 61.
And now to breaking news in upstate New York. Multiple people are dead and injured, and some are still trapped inside a tour bus that crashed this afternoon. New York State Police said they believe the bus was traveling from Niagara Falls to New York City with more than 50 passengers on board, including children. Officials said for some reason the bus lost control, veered into a median, and rolled over. As of now, it has not been confirmed how many people have died or how many people are hurt at this time. But again, this is still breaking news and developing, so when we get more information, we'll get that update over to you. Okay, at 5:03, let's get a check on the forecast. Meteorologist Sam Samperi joins me now as the temperatures are a bit higher, and it looks like we're headed into a great weekend.
Absolutely beautiful weekend, Tim. This has been one of the best summers I can remember in a few years. We have upper 70s to lower and middle 80s this afternoon. Look at the dew points. Very, very comfortable out there for your Friday evening dinner and outside activities. You can see high pressure in control, nothing going on here. So temperatures again will be in the 70s along the shoreline. Lots of sunshine, comfortable temperatures in the 80s this evening. And yes, as we head through the weekend, it's not going to be bad at all. Lows tonight, pretty comfortable, averaging between 55 and 60, basically. Some lower 50s in those cooler towns. And look at this tomorrow. Mostly sunny skies, an absolutely gorgeous day with high temperatures reaching 80 to 85 inland and a bit cooler along the southeast shore. That's because we're going to have a nice sea breeze kicking in. Great day for the beaches, but you do have to be careful because we still have the indirect effects from Hurricane Aaron, and I will be back in a few minutes. We'll talk about that and what you can expect through the weekend and how warm and humid will it get on your Sunday. Tim?
All right, Sam, thank you. Yeah, this weekend might be a good one to sneak in one last beach day before the school year starts. But if you're wondering which beach to go to, West is probably best, just to get you as far away from that rough surf and rip currents from Hurricane Aaron as possible. Fox 61's Glenn Kittle is at the Connecticut shoreline's easternmost point, Stonington, with more.
The waves here in Stonington reached up to 6 feet high as Aaron makes its final push up the east coast. Now, while this water may be tempting for surfers or boogie boarders to go in, folks here in Stonington say they're keeping their distance.
Right now it's quite relaxing. It's kind of nice. We're here playing on the beach with our little son and just kind of enjoying the gentle waves coming through.
Chris Moyer says he and his family are staying away from the water. He says the currents are too strong to risk their safety. Beachgoers aren't the only ones feeling the brunt of the storm. Businesses are taking the proper precautions to steer clear of danger. Ferry services from New London to Block Island have been shut down since Thursday. The waves and current are keeping most boats docked.
Oh, it's definitely a little bit rougher today. It's you know, there's some swells, but and the tide is definitely pushed in. So usually it's pretty calm. Oh, there's people that get in. Well, here it's not so bad, but over, you know, just around the corner there in Watch Hill at Napatree, yeah, you don't want to go in there.
As Aaron starts to die off, there is still risk of rip currents. Thomas McCarthy is among those at Stonington Point who aren't taking the plunge in the turbulent seas. He says anyone who plans to hop in should be careful.
Oh yeah, you're going to need to be careful. Yeah, and don't go in where it's really wavy. You know, it's dangerous. Yeah.
I would certainly say be aware, especially rip currents. You can't see them, so yeah, just use a lot of caution swimming.
Beachgoers are being reminded to be aware of the risks before they head to the beach. They're being told to always make sure that there's a lifeguard on duty to make sure everything is safe and to be aware of the rip currents. And if you are caught in one, you are being told to swim parallel from the beach to try and escape that rip current. In Stonington, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
Glenn, thank you. Well, a former Shelton High School teacher was arrested, accused of sleeping with a student. Police said 38-year-old Jason Keimer of Beacon Falls had a sexual relationship with a then 17-year-old girl, and they said that sexual contact happened at the school. Police said they were tipped off to this in June. During the investigation, they said Keimer called the victim and told her to, quote, do the right thing. Well, Keimer was taken into custody today and was released on a $50,000 bond. He's due in court Monday. In Putnam, police said a suspect is in custody in a sexual assault investigation, one that dates back to November of 2023. 67-year-old Gerald Hill of Tiverton, Rhode Island, has been charged with sex assault in the second degree. That's the only information police have shared tonight. Our desk is working to get more context for you on those charges. New Haven police are still looking for the person who shot a man last night, but in the meantime, they arrested the victim and a woman he was with. They haven't released the victim's name, but said he went to Yale New Haven Hospital with a gunshot wound last night. Police were told that he was shot on Hubbinger Street, but they didn't find a crime scene there. They did find that the man who was shot was wanted on an active arrest warrant. We don't know for what. Police said they took him into custody. And as for the woman with him, police said they arrested 38-year-old Manisha Galashaw of New Haven because police said she had a stolen pistol on her. Guilford police said they managed to catch the man who robbed two businesses and tried to rob a third all this month. Police said David Pulcinella held up a mobile gas station on August 5th, flashing a handgun and demanding cash. They said a week later he tried to rob Ascend Bank using a handwritten note, but wound up leaving empty-handed. Nobody was hurt in either of those cases. Pulcinella was arrested days later after another robbery in East Haven. That time, police said he held up a Dunkin' Donuts. He's now facing multiple charges, as you can imagine, and is being held on a bond of more than $300,000.
Before I looked out the door, I looked out the window and I didn't see anybody. So that's when I checked my cameras and I couldn't believe what I saw. A naked man, and he clearly had, you know, some kind of weapon in his hand.
Yeah, right now, a Stafford family just struggling to wrap their heads around this video they saw last night outside their house, and you saw part of it there. A naked man caught on camera running away from their house with a knife in his hand. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson has more from what the family and their neighbors had to say.
Aside from this being a fairly busy back street, neighbors tell me Prospect Road in Stafford is pretty quiet. But that all changed Friday when a family heard their doorbell go off early in the morning, and they were shocked at what they saw on the camera.
I got a little nervous because I'm thinking to myself, who's ringing my doorbell at this time of night?
It's a terrifying moment caught on camera. A naked man walks up to this family's porch, then runs away, all while holding a knife.
It woke me up out of a sound sleep, my doorbell ringing. So I got out of bed and I slowly made my way into the living room. And before I looked out the door, I looked out the window and I didn't see anybody. So that's when I checked my cameras and I couldn't believe what I saw. You know, a naked man, and he clearly had, you know, some kind of weapon in his hand. And I just called 911.
The mother, who wants to remain anonymous, says the man was spotted on her camera just before 1 a.m. The man stood on the front porch for about a minute, then he ran away. State police say they found the man later in the morning. They say there was no criminal aspect to the incident and had him taken to the hospital for evaluation. The mother says she doesn't know who the man is.
I think he was not in his right mind, you know, drugs or mental illness, but yeah, something was not right with him. My dog was going crazy, and he's not a big dog, he's a little dog, but he was barking so much, and I wonder if that might have scared him off.
The mother says her two teenagers were also home at the time of the incident.
They were like terrified. They were traumatized. They were so scared. And originally, one of my daughters wanted to come downstairs and open the door to see who it was. I always try to tell my girls, you know, make sure you lock the door. And this was like, you know, a huge learning lesson for them. Doors have to be locked at all times.
The mother says she's had problems before in the neighborhood, but in 10 years of living here, she's never felt unsafe.
One time my car got broken into, but I've been there for 10 years, and that's really the only thing that's ever happened to me anyway. So I really feel safe there.
Even though she still feels secure, she believes it's in her family's best interest to follow up on the incident.
Find out, you know, at least maybe who it was. You know, I want to keep myself and my kids safe. I don't want to have to worry about him returning.
The mother says she believes this incident emphasizes the importance of having cameras around your house because she wouldn't have known what happened otherwise. In Stafford, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Will the Fed finally cut interest rates? Jerome Powell said the job market points one way while inflation points another. So we'll tell you what he's waiting to see before making a move. That's next in your business report.